What's good, Austin? We're going to show you our promo and we'll be ready to go.
Hello?
What's good, Austin? This is your host, Corey Tabor, the Purpose Partner and founder of Triple I Coaching, where we are informing, instructing, and inspiring you to fulfill your purpose. I am so excited to introduce our new podcast, What's Good, Austin, a podcast designed to highlight the good work that people are doing in our community. You know, I've lived in Austin for over 25 years since moving here from Abilene, Texas to attend the University of Texas. Hook 'em horns. I love our community, and I want you to know about many of the good things that are happening in our city. So many of our media outlets thrive on the challenging things that are happening in our city, like record-breaking homicides, a high population of residents experiencing homelessness, and the traffic. Let's not start talking about the traffic. With all the challenges we see on a daily basis, we need a hope shot, something that will inspire us to partner together to see the change we want to see in our city by being the change we want to see in our city. So I will be interviewing people who are doing good work in the business and nonprofit sectors, as well as in our education and faith communities. We might even interview a few celebrities because they tend to love Austin too. There's an often quoted slogan that says, "Keep Austin weird." Well, we're going to keep Austin winning by focusing on the good work we're seeing in our city. Now I need you to go to your preferred podcast platform and subscribe to What's Good Austin. Then share this podcast with your friends, family members, coworkers, and your crazy cousins. Let's kick off 2022 with a bang. Focus on looking forward to seeing the journey that we can have together as we discover what is good in our city and partner together to make Austin even greater. Again, this is your host, Corey Tabor, the Purpose Partner. Until next time, remember to love your family, be a good neighbor, and make a deposit in someone else's life today.
What's good?
I like it. I like it.
Thank you, Sean. This is
Okay.
Corey, Purpose Partner, founder and president of Triple I Coaching, where we inform, instruct, and inspire you to fulfill your purpose. I am so honored today to have what I consider to be a hero in our community, Mr. Sean Hardeman from Ball Hard Player Development, making a difference in the lives of young people here in the city of Austin. The reason we launched this show is to just highlight the good things that are happening in our city. And if I had $100 for everybody I've met who's made a difference in this city, I'd be a rich man. And so excited to have Sean on today. Sean, welcome to the show.
Hey, I appreciate it, Corey. Thank you. Like I said, great platform. Great. When I'm listening to this interview, the intro, I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to do right here.
Yeah,
This is what I want to be a part of. So thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you. Well, we start off with an Austin and you rapid fire. This is like 30 to 45-second responses to these questions. So the first question is, how long have you lived in Austin, Sean?
My entire life. I was born and raised in Austin, Texas.
Oh, wow, man. Most people are not like indigenous to Austin. They're transplants. What high school did you go to?
Austin LBJ, graduated with a Fab Five, Ray Jackson.
Oh, yeah, cool. I know Ray and his family, man. Me and my wife used to work at Greater Mount Zion, and his wife was the children's director after my wife was the children's director.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to do some work with him and his nonprofit in the days ahead and get him on the show as well, because I love what he's done with his life after basketball, on the way that he's impacted young people. So what would you say you love most about the city of Austin?
Honestly, it's just the fact that if you know where to find it, it's opportunity here, a lot of it. But you gotta get outside your doorstep to find it. It's people that are worth billions of dollars in Austin, and you wouldn't even know it. They're driving regular cars. They're just normal, regular people. And it's like, if we ever, me personally, if people understand that you don't have to look like money to be like money, you just have to sound like money, then you'll be all right. But I think Austin is just it's very disguised, but it's very straightforward.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about Austin. I moved here from Abilene to go to the University of Texas. And when I got here, I loved how authentic people were, how real people are, and how cool it was to sit next to a millionaire in flip-flops and a T-shirt at a Starbucks, and they drove a Honda Accord. And I knew they had the revenue, but they were using their money to do different things. You know what I'm saying? They weren't putting it in liabilities. They were putting it in assets that were going to keep building and helping them grow their wealth, you know? So what would you say is your favorite place to be in Austin? If you can be anywhere in the city, where would you like to be?
2 places, my gym and my house.
Yeah.
But outside of those two, excuse me, my allergies are killing me. But outside of those two, I love Papa Do's. If you wanna find me, that's my happy place. So, and theoretically, it's just out in the community, out and about. I have 4 kids, and we're ripping and running, dude. One is a gymnast, one is a basketball player, one is a track star, one is trying to find her way. So our household, it's just crazy. So
Yeah.
I just love being out and about in the city.
I can imagine. Well, the answer you gave is what I assumed. I assumed, one, you loved your home, because I'm thinking somebody like you has made your home your sanctuary. So when you come home from work, you can kind of take it all down, let your hair down, figuratively, because you ain't got no hair, but let your hair down, and then
yeah, about that.
Let your hair down, and then really be able to, I've seen just from social media and what I've seen on the news, man, the gym. I can't wait to get by there and just check it out. I'm so proud of you for pursuing your passion and building something that will last. That means so much to me, because that's the same thing I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to leave an imprint in this city that lasts beyond my lifetime. And like you said, Austin is full of opportunities. If you know how to do what you do well and then leverage that.
You know how to position it.
Well, there's a lot of opportunities.
Position it.
Yeah, definitely. And then the other thing you said was Papa Do's. So I love Papa Do's. I went for my birthday. I rent a hotel every year. I try to rent a hotel every year to just get a night away. I was in the middle of writing my last book, so I didn't get to rest as much as I was just using it as time to get done with the book deadline. And I went by there, man, and they got rid of my sweet potato, pecan sweet potato pie, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what were y'all thinking?
What? I don't know what they do with that food, but they do it.
Oh, man. Because the old folks just put in it. What's your order? What do you like to order at Papa Do's?
My favorite is bacon wrapped shrimp, the shrimp brochette.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
With dirty rice. Oh my God. That's like my go-to. Then I get the Pontchartrain. Then I get the red snapper. Then it's like you can't get bad food from there.
Yeah, you can't. And I'm so glad we got another location now, because that one on 290 and 35, it was like the only spot, so the second location is nice to have. I fell in love with fried alligator there, man. I'll go get me some alligator as an appetizer, just scoop it up on the way. Yeah. You can't beat the bread, you know what I'm saying? The bread is just the bread. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the focus of what you do with your business, Ball Hard, and I want to just kind of give you a chance to share a little bit about it. So tell me, what got you started in this whole player development world? Where did you start with that?
Well, I was in the medical field. Long story short is that I used to be on the reformation team for Texas Medicaid. Everything I do, I try to immerse myself in it, be the best at it. So it was I'll use the number, like an 8,000 page provider manual. I knew that manual from every page number, paragraph, subparagraph. I knew everything about it. And ended up going to the private sector, became a practice administrator, like a office manager of sorts. 8 nurse practitioners, 4 MDs, and an office of like 50. Long story short, I saw this dude, this doctor, head doctor, just making crazy money. And I'm over here like coming in at 5 a.m. and leaving at like 10 o'clock at night, trying to make a difference. Trying to make a difference to his bottom line. And I just came home one day and I said, honey, I'm not feeling this.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I don't want to do this. And honestly, shout out to my spouse, Sean Hardeman, because what I'm about to say next is how who I am today came about.
Yeah.
She said, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to do basketball. She's like, what do you know about it? I'm like, no, not really. I just know that I have a passion, and that if I get the opportunity to learn it, then I could be, if anything, I could be okay, but I really wanted to be the best at it.
Right.
I didn't want to be in Austin, because Austin is not known. for basketball at all. I wanted to go to Houston, Dallas. Houston, because my wife's family is from there.
Right.
So she could be close to home and I could just immerse myself in work. Long story short, when I got married and she gave me this opportunity, what she didn't do was she didn't give me a timetable.
Mm.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
Because if I had a timetable, what if I was 2 days late?
Mm.
Right? So what it did is that it gave me the opportunity to not do a money venture, but do a purpose driven. Like it's gonna have my feel, my culture. It's gonna be set up the way that I want it done.
Wow.
And the rest is history.
Man, that is awesome to just hear your story and hear. I mean, I think when people don't understand, when somebody goes into business and they're married, man, it's got to be a joint venture. My wife doesn't have to do life coaching. She doesn't have to do speaking. She doesn't have to write a book, but she got to be able to support me trying to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Understand the bumps in the road that are going to happen with it. That you got to invest some money to make some money. You're going to have some things that work out, some things that don't work out. But in the end, you're building something that you, like you said, is purpose driven. Most people who do something career based, we talk about this in my book, Prioritize for Your Purpose. They do something they've been doing most of their life, something they're good at, something that other people affirm in them, and something that they would do if they could do it for free. And when you shared your story, you literally violated 3 of those 4 principles, but what you had was passion and purpose. Those right there, passion and purpose can trump a whole lot of the other typical things that we look for when we talk about purpose development.
And I had currency. I had luck. Yeah. I had a partner's belief that, listen, the key is that she saw me go to work every day and try to make a difference there. She said, well, what if you put all that into yourself? Like at the very least, you're going to come back not empty. Right. Now, it may not make money at the beginning, but you're going to be fulfilled. And so now the company makes money. Yes, it does.
Right.
But it also, I'm actually leaving a legacy. I'm touching lives. Like my first motto, and I need to get back to it. It used to say, ball hard, changing lives, one bounce at a time.
Mm.
And that's just what it was.
Wow. That's so funny, man. When I did college ministry, I started the ministry to Black students at UT with InterVarsity. And we used to have a moniker. It was like changing the campus one life at a time. And it was like, if we can transform a young person at 18 to 22, they're going to change their sphere of influence. And over time, they're going to change the world. And we saw that. I mean, one of our students who helped us start the Bible study, man, he went on to get a PhD in engineering from Carnegie Mellon and was the first African-American to teach engineering at Columbia. And he teaches at Baylor now, and I'm sitting here like, man, all I did was show up and do what I know how to do. And I said, if we could just get everybody in the world, not even everybody, if we get 20% of the world to just show up consistently and say yes to something, the world would be a much better place. Something, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just, I don't disparage people who do the 9 to 5. I'm in the world of 9 to 5 for now. And while building, and not everybody's an entrepreneur, but everybody has something
absolutely.
Everybody has something they bring to the table that if they do it with passion and purpose, it will make a difference, So tell me the role that education played in your journey. I'm a huge education advocate. My wife's an educator. We got a lot of loans because we believe in education. Tell me what education played, formal and informal education.
So here's what I did. Went to Austin LBJ, went to University of Texas. Did not graduate. Mm-hmm. But what I did is that my wife, I met her at University of Texas as well. She graduated undergrad and graduate the same day.
Ooh.
Right. She did this. She graduated from the School of Business, which is at the time it was like top 4 in the country. Mm-hmm. So what she did is that she showed me, one, she wanted to be an accountant. Mm-hmm. But this is what it takes for you to be an accountant. I wanted to be business management, psychology, right? I just wanted to kind of learn how people's brains work and learn how currency works, how people set up businesses. So, right. Sorry about that. So now what I will say is this: the one thing that I did that I know made a huge impact on me. When I drive, I don't listen to the radio.
Mm.
I listen to audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm driving. So at the formidable years of this company, I'm driving to Houston, driving to Dallas. I'm doing camp here. I'm on a plane here. I'm doing North Carolina, Duke. I'm, DC, Maryland. And I'm just flying to San Diego. I'm everywhere. And I'm just taking in information by osmosis.
Mm.
And I'm not listening. I'm not cognitively listening to it. But if it resonates with my ethos, my spirit, it catches me. And then I just kind of go from there. So translate that into today's situation. People, when they come in that gym, they expect to hear and see a basketball trainer. Me, oh, I do basketball. Just meathead stuff, right? ABC basic. But we're in there literally changing lives because I could care less about a basketball.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm looking at is that it's life after basketball, but basketball is a microcosm of what we do as people in this world anyway. So we're creatures of habit.
Mm-hmm.
So if I teach you good habits on this court, meaning that problem resolution and how to evolve that, then you take that with you in your normal regular life.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when I say player development, I could easily say basketball training.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And I love what you talked about, the value of education beyond the classroom. When I went to UT, I made up in my mind I was going to get as much outside of the classroom as I was going to get in the classroom. So I knew I had to go to class, but I was in student government. I was a resident assistant. I was an orientation advisor. I was with Honors Colloquium. I was in the student body, student government. I was president of the gospel choir in a Christian fraternity. My thing was, I know I can learn in a book, but my value is going to be what I learn outside the classroom, because as an employer now who hires people, I can look at a 4.0 GPA, but if you haven't shown me you can do anything, like you haven't had a job, you never had to show up on time, you never had to work through a hard day, show up sick, I don't know what you can bring to the table. And then when you talked about the value of the audiobooks, man, my Audible and Kindle numbers are out the roof. And you look, behind me, this is like 350, 400 books in here right now. And people ask me all the time, why do you read so much? I don't even like to read. That's why audiobooks have been huge for me. I'm an auditory learner, so I can learn audio. I'll go for a walk, I'll exercise, I'll drive, and I'll listen to an audiobook. And for me, it's like I don't need all the details. I just need to soak it in, and I'm going to gather what I need to gather. It's going to come back when I need it to come back. But I tell people all the time, I paid UT almost $100,000 to hold me accountable.
I got at least 7 degrees right now.
Yeah. Exactly. So I paid them to hold me accountable to learn what I could have learned on my own. And so if people have the discipline to be able to access the resources that are available, they can get an education beyond, what they may or may not have access to in the classroom. So talk to me about what you wish you had known when you started that you know now.
Say that one more time.
What do you wish you had known when you started your business that you
No, we don't do that. You know why? Because the journey is awesome, man.
Yeah.
The journey is awesome. I love falling on my face. I must love it because I do it a lot.
Yeah.
I do it a lot. I mean, the key is this, is that, I'm 48 now. So my mindset is this: we're all going to go away, at some point. So the key is, it's not living the perfect life. It's living a meaningful life.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that, in October, I lost my best friend I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Just my right hand dude, didn't need nothing from you, but messed with you anyway.
Right.
And when that happened, it was just like, okay, and it shook my whole world up, because I've had losses before, but nothing like that, right? And it was unnecessary, the negligence, but on the hospital, just but. And so for the way that it happened, and it was just a matter of even you can hear it in my voice, even now it still resonates and bothers me, but I need that grit, I need that pain, because it's going to get me to the next level of my journey.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't look back and say, hey man, I wish I didn't have to do that, or hey, I didn't, because if I take away one piece of it, it affects everything behind.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I often ask that question, you know, to get the lessons that people have learned from their experience. I know for me, I wish when I was young, I just would have started saving money sooner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I would have just put aside a little bit of money here and there. I didn't think I was making enough to save, but you always can save something, you know. And so I'm kind of catching up in that arena. But I appreciate what you said in that. And then even with the loss of your friend, I remember seeing that happen. You posted that on social, and I lost like 15 people last year between COVID and just, you know, a guy I went to high school with set up for a prep rally Thursday night and then didn't wake up Friday morning. He was the cheerleading coach at both high schools in my hometown. We lost a guy to COVID who was a soccer coach in Arlington. My best friend's dad died of COVID. I had a couple that went to my church. I think she died on a Thursday. He died on a Tuesday. I mean, it was just like, and what it made me think is, okay, I don't know how long I'm going to be on the planet. So I got to get it done. You know what I'm saying? People ask me all the time, why are you up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning? I said, one, because I go to bed at 10 or 11. But two, because I got stuff to do, man. I have a legacy to leave, not only for my kids, but I'm a person of faith. And I believe when my life ends, I have to give an account for what I did with all the abilities I have. And I don't want to stand before my creator and be like, I was worried about what people thought, or folks said I was trying to do too much, whatever it might be. I'm like, man, I just made up my mind. You know, the mid-40s does this to you, where you get a case of the don't, well, I can't say it on the channel, but you don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't care. You're saying, I'm gonna do what I was sent here to do because I know I was sent here to do it, you know?
I mean, but honestly, that's like with this basketball stuff. When you said, you know, what would you change? The craziest part is that I've done some like catastrophic, like the door should have closed, but the door stayed open. And I'm the dude where like, hey, you're gonna keep on letting me go through the door, I'm going. And like when you seal it shut and like board it up and there ain't no door no more, then I understand, okay, maybe I need to do something different. But it's just like for me going, this company started at Wells Branch Mud Recreation Center, right off of Wells Branch.
Yeah.
And I would have kids. I mean, we literally took over the facility. They changed the bylaws so to make sure that I could use it. From that point on, it made me kind of understand how to work around people's notes. So every education, everything that you did to try to stop me, only educated me more because it made my passion. Like your no was not bigger than my yes.
So good. It's so good, man. I think about that experience and that location. Like when I started my church, man, we met in the Wells Branch Library for the first year.
Yeah.
And
right on Piccadilly.
Yeah, right there, man. And I remember you know, meeting they had a little dance studio type room that we could get into and, you know, setting up every week, breaking down every week, putting up signs. And it was the process, the journey, like you said, that man developed so much character. And to this day, you know, my church closed in 2019. And I've been doing ministry more outside of the church, particularly now. But it gave me a heart for church planners. It gave me a heart for pastors. I mean, I check on pastors all the time because they like CEOs. It's a lonely place, man. People don't understand what it takes to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? They see the result, but they don't see the grind. They don't see the behind the scenes. They don't see, you know, all it takes to make it happen. And so I just try to support people who are in that position because, you know, you get to a certain point in your life where only so many people get it because nobody else is trying to go at it the way you're trying to go at it.
I would piggyback off of that. I would just say people talk about work-life balance, and there is none. There's no equality in relationships. It's basically I have to fill in, you know, where she's weak at, where she needs help with, and she fills in where I like. So how about this, bro? Think about this. When I first started this company, I'm doing basketball training, right? So I have to deal with kids when they get out of school. So that means I'm leaving my family to go help somebody else's family. When I started out, for 6 years, I literally did not put my kids to sleep. I never saw them go to bed. And it's like, God dang, he's such a bad dad. Hold on. But what I did is that I quit my company because at the time, Austin was kind of, but I had 4 kids that were out of school, 4 kids under 4.
Mm.
So I would have been paying about $6,400 a month in daycare.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at that time I was making like 82. I'm like, I'm giving, why am I doing that?
Yeah.
So we just made the decision that I would stay home and take care of the kid. As a man, that was a blow to my ego, blow to my heart,
Yeah.
because I've always been taught to be the forager, to be
Right.
the caveman, to go out and get it. And, you do that stuff. Dude, I know every single one of my kids
Mm-hmm.
back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know everything about them. I have fun with my kids. We have the house where everybody comes over and they're like, the kids love being around me and my wife, the environment we created. But like, I spent the time to know them so before they went to school, and then when they went, so we would go on field trips every day somewhere. I would take them somewhere, and we would get in the car and physically go every day, like make it a whole outing.
Yeah.
Once they started going to school, then it became what it was. But for 6 years, I had to sacrifice not seeing them go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And so when you say the journey, it's like the work-life balance that everybody wants and talks about. Turn off your phone. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't. But no, you do what you think you need to do to get where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's going to be things that are going to show you you're doing too much. You know what I did? This was a shining moment. I was at Duke University running their elite camp, head instructor. Like, from beginning to end, I set it up. I told us when to break. I wrote the schedule, itinerary. I did everything. Duke University. No bigger than that, right?
Wow.
And it was my daughter's birthday.
Wow.
And I was like, I did all this and got something for me. And I'm missing my daughter's birthday.
Mm.
And I was like, there's certain sacrifices I'm not willing to do.
Yeah.
So so you're going to get it wrong, but understand when you get it wrong.
Right. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, yeah, I totally get that, man. I remember I was a kid who was like the nerd in high school. I was Urkel, like back in the 90s. And then my sophomore year, I just decided I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna stop trying to be whoever everybody thinks I should be. I ended up becoming class favorite. Junior year, I lost to some new dude from California, but my senior year, I was up for homecoming king. And my dad's a pastor, and he normally would preach at this church on the first Friday of October every year for this pastor's appreciation. And I said, Dad, man, you need to be at this game. He said, but I preach here every year. I said, I know, but like, that's exactly, you preach there every year, so you need to be here. What if I win? And so he comes and I win with a girl that was like, I had a crush on since the 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? She was queen, I was king. At the dance, I just remember telling her, I've been dreaming of this since the 6th grade. I mean, I was right. But the reality of it was, he realized in that moment, there are choices I'm gonna have to make. There's some things I'm just gonna have to say no to if I'm gonna be for my kids. And so he took me to visit UT, walked around the Union, did the whole campus with me. When I finished and looked at grad schools, he was driving me to grad schools. It took me 10 years to get my master's degree. And my dad drove me all the way to Springfield, Missouri, put that medal on my neck, man. And it was like, to him, what else am I gonna do? This is my kids, this is my people. And so I made a decision, with my company right now, like, to try to only be gone out of my bed 4 days a month. And I made that decision now because I see the opportunities that are coming, and I know me. The way I'm wired, I'll be on the road 15 days a year. That's the way I'm wired. But with a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old, I don't feel like I can make that choice right now. Now, as they get older, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's what I talk about in the book on prioritizing for your purpose, figuring out, okay, how do I prioritize this role as a dad, as a husband, as a father, as a business person? All of that, we have to try to figure out how to. And I'm like you. I don't know that there is such thing as a balance. There's a guy named Wayne Cordero. He wrote a book called Leading on Empty. He wrote another one, deals with developing teams. And he talks about the fulcrum principle, which is the thing that they use in the law to kind of weigh out the scales. Okay. And there are times in your life where you just got to move fulcrum over and focus on your marriage. Yeah. And there's times you got to focus on a kid. Like, I have friends whose kids are going through like suicidal ideations right now. And it's like, they have to like be available. They can't just go away for a week and leave their kid with some people. They got to kind of be around more, be focused. And so, life is one of those things you just have to adjust, as you need to. So the next question is the question that I love to ask people on the show. And it is, what do you desire your legacy to be?
Say it again.
What do you desire your legacy to be?
Too easy. On a selfish personal level, when I leave this earth, I want people to hurt. I want people to say, you know what, he touched me, and I've learned some things, and I'm gonna miss it. Professionally, I think it's that he gave me more than a bouncing ball. He gave me an opportunity to grow and mature and to mess up in a safe place. Holistically, I want to change. I say this, and hopefully it doesn't, it resonates with the public. But I want to be it's a star up in the sky, and it shines brighter than anything you've ever seen. And you could use that as a guide on your journey.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, man, I've been looking at the work you're doing. I want to share this story, man, because I think it just is, it epitomizes the legacy you're already building and the impact you're making. So let's see. Am I already sharing?
I think what I want out of this life is very simple. It's just to make my time count.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you. Let me, I want to run this video, see if we can get it to pop here.
Okay.
This was so impactful to me. Let's see. I get it.
Last year, Solomon was diagnosed with synovial sarcoma, a rare cancer that hits adolescent boys disproportionately. Almost a year ago to the day, we didn't know Solomon was going to make it back. But he got through radiation, chemotherapy, and a radical surgery, and he's back, working hard. He's been going at it for about 3 months, and we're just grateful. We feel blessed that he's even able to play the game anymore.
My name's Solomon Marshall. I'm a freshman at St. Andrews. I was able to battle through chemotherapy, surgery, radiation, and for 3 months I've been at it in the gym with Sean, working every day. I'm still trying to chase the same goals and dreams I had before cancer and trying to get back better, basically. Ever since then, I felt like a strong player, a strong person. My body might be weaker, but I have the same mentality to go and kill people on the court.
That's why you do it, man.
The audio is kind of messing up.
Oh, okay. I said that's why you do it.
Yeah, okay. So now you're starting to talk like a robot. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I hear you fine. Let me see. Hold on. Give me one.
All
right. How's it now?
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I was saying that's why you do it,
But nah, but that's why we do it, right?
Yeah.
Young man, it's like my son.
Yeah.
Glad to see him doing well. He's doing phenomenal this year. As a sophomore at St. Andrews, he averaged 37 a game.
Wait,
37 points a game. Here's the funniest part. When he was going through that, he was in the hospital. He was in the hospital for 96 days, and he wanted one person to come see him. Me.
Yeah.
And I don't do hospitals like that. I don't do all this, I just don't. But he asked, so I came. It took me I was outside 30 minutes, just like, I'm like, Sean, just go. And so I went up there, and I just told him, I said, hey, man, look, I just need you to get back healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You get back healthy, I'll take care of this basketball stuff. Like, if you're able to bounce back like that, then if I gotta like shut down my company just to make sure you're right, then that's what I'll do.
Mm-hmm.
So we would get in the gym, and this is like in the height of COVID, right? So we would have to come in at 11 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning because he couldn't be around other people. But he had his throat completely reconstructed. He had to learn how to talk again, learn how to breathe, learn how to eat completely again at 14 years old. So what that showed me, but here's the key. The reason why he's averaging and doing all this great stuff is that he had it takes losses in order for you to get great games.
Yeah.
And, but the other part is that we're not promised. We're not promised life, but we are promised opportunity.
Yeah, and it's up to us to take advantage of it, man. And I think about this young man's story, the resilience that he's built at this stage of his life, and how that's going to equip him for life long term. I want to write his book already. Like I'm sitting there like, this dude got a story to tell. It needs to be told. And young people are so resilient, and they show us so much. I have seen through people I've mentored, like who I want to be when I grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally put me in a place where I'm just like, okay, I know I'm trying to like mentor you, but you're mentoring me too. And that's the beauty of life, is that it can bring you gifts through anybody you let be a gift to you. They will be.
Absolutely. Everybody has value. Everybody has value. You just got to find it.
Exactly. So what's next for you, Sean? What's next for you here in Austin?
Here's what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm 48 now, and I've kind of been the humble guy, humble role. And I've done a lot of things. Like most people didn't know that, I've done camps at Duke, or I've traveled the country, and I can almost step on any floor in the country. I know all these coaches, men's and women's, and that I've put a lot of time, energy, and effort into this thing. So now at 48, it's time to just kind of let the cat out the bag, right? We're going to do a lot of different things for the community. I've done, like right now, I have a summer camp in which, if you're a public educator, we're giving you a camp that normally costs $225 for $75. All you got to do is just show your public educator badge.
Yeah.
So my job is give back as much as I possibly can. The value that I bring, I think that Ballhard and that we bring to the table is that it's 100%.
Yeah.
We're not in there playing knockout. We're not in there trying to make little Johnny, little Susie feel great. We're in there to work. Like having fun is like the fourth thing that we're doing. But if you like grinding, if you want to be special with the game, that's what it's going to take. You got to get a laser mindset to go out and get what you want, and then the things that come after that, you accept. So for me, I'm going to play like I just started.
Yeah.
Like I'm brand new. I'm going to. I feel confident. I feel good. I feel excited. Like we have an event Sunday where Jordan Clarkson of the Utah Jazz, his dad, Mike Clarkson, is a good friend of mine. He's going to come and speak at an invite-only event that we're doing. And I'm doing an invite-only for the best players in Austin, right? They're not paying $1. They're getting fed, they're getting transported, they're getting shirts, and they're getting a video package free.
Wow.
Now, you're in the industry, so you know how much this stuff is costing.
Yeah.
So this is not, and with the videographer, I'm getting the raw data. So you know how much for somebody. Yes. So I'm paying out.
Yeah.
for you just to understand. So it's called Train Like a Pro. Train Like a Pro, ATX.com. I'm sorry, wait, no, I don't want to release that just no. Yeah, yeah. But we're doing some higher level things as well. But then we're also going to get in here with these little babies and do some K through third. Because I've never messed with that age. And I have the facility to do it. I have the bandwidth to do it. I have a lot of stuff to do. But man, I just think it's just an opportunity for me to sit back and breathe.
Yeah.
Because before I've been grinding and hustling, grinding, and it's like I still want to do it, but now I do it because I want to, not because I have to.
Well, man, I'm so glad to have had you on the show, man. We got your Twitter and Instagram up there. We got the website, trainlikeapro, ATX.com.
My website, my own personal website is ball-hard.com.
Okay.
BALL-HARD.com.
You say it again, it's what?
Ball, BALL-HARD hard.com.
All right. So we'll do that right there. Y'all check out ball-hard.com with Sean Hardeman. Man, you are such an inspiration to me. I know so many others are going to watch this on the replay, watch this live. Thanks so much for being on the show. Until next time, you all love your family, be a good neighbor, and make a deposit in someone's life today.
I appreciate you, my man. Thank you very much. And I can't edit out the crying.
Oh, no. No, you can't edit that out, bro. You can't edit that out. That's authentic. That's Austin. That's Austin right there. That's good, Austin. Yeah.
Amen.